Megan, or themeowthvader, and we are doing the Love in the Night wrap-up. So we will start at the bottom and work our way up because I want to. Alright, so the first thing was post a wrap-up. This is my wrap-up. I did a mini wrap-up on my Instagram stories. If you want to follow me on Instagram, links down below. The next one is read an LGBT title, and I did. I read Mooncakes by Suzanne Walker, and it was super cute. It was a graphic novel, and it was about a witch and a werewolf, and it was adorable. I loved it. The next one was to read a booktube darling, and I read A Hunger Like No Other. I didn't like this book. I had tried to read it once before, and I DNF'd it probably like 40% of the way through. And so this time I tried again with an audiobook, and I still wasn't a big fan of this book. It's about like a werewolf and a half vampire, half Valkyrie, and I just wasn't a fan. So sorry, like everyone else in the booktube community that really, really likes the Immortals After Dark series. I read The Warlord Once Forever, and I've read A Hunger Like No Other, and I'm still not a fan of this series. Moving on up, read a vampire book. I read Devil's Line. It is a manga. I read the first 2 volumes in it, and it was super cool. It was like vampires, but they kept calling them demons, but they're vampires, and they get like, they lose control with like blood or when they get really excited, but then they go on like killing rampage. So it's not like sexy vampires, it's like scary demon vampires. But I really liked it. I thought it was super cool. And then read the group book. The group book was The Barista and the Bear, and I thought it was sweet. It was a very short novella about a barista, and one day a bear shifter comes into her coffee shop and is just like, "You're my mate," and then chaos ensues. So it was cute, it was short, it was sweet, but it was like nothing to write home about. But if you're looking for a fun short bear shifter, read that one. Next was read a host favorite, and I read Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross, and I loved this book. It was so good, and Mateo is my homeboy and the cutest thing in the entire world, and I super duper loved this book. So this book is about a wolf shapeshifter who gets a curse or a hex put on him, so he can't change into his werewolf form, so he's just like slowly going crazy. So he asks a witch for help, but the witches aren't supposed to help the werewolves. So it's a lot of fun. It was like a romantic comedy, and I really enjoyed it. Moving up, the next one is to read a book by an author of color, and I read Sanctuary by Alexandria House, and it was really interesting. It was a completely different look at Immortals than I'm used to. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Average book. Woo! The next one was poster TBR. Check. We did that. Okay, the next one is to read a sequel, and I read Queen Takes Queen. And I devoured the first 3 books in the Queen Takes Night series. And they were great. If you like really smutty books that have, and you're okay with like blood play, give it a try. It was interesting. Like the storyline itself was really compelling. They built the world really in an interesting way. So yeah. If you're not grossed out by it, pick it up. It's pretty cool. Moving up to the top row, we have Read a Shifter novel, and I reread Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. I haven't read that book in over a year, and I couldn't quite remember what happened, but I remembered I really liked it. So I reread it, and I still really like that book. So I think people have probably heard of the Changeling series before, and yeah, pick it up. Oh, I'm so bad at this. And then the last actual book is to read a book in a different style. I picked Where Dreams Descend because it is YA, and I don't read a lot of YA books. I really liked it, though. I was surprised. I thought, even though it's marked as YA, I thought it read more as new adult. Not like sexy fun times, but as like the way the characters were portrayed. I thought it read more as new adult than young adult. But I don't know. I don't know how people market things. And I've noticed that fantasies tend to put YA when it should be NA. Like they're like, no, it's a young adult fantasy, or it's a like adult fantasy, and there's like no in between. And that's how we got all of Sarah J. Maas's books into YA, even though some of them should not have been in YA. But yeah, so difference of opinion. I really liked Where Dreams Descend. It was very like magic and theatrics, and did have like pseudo Phantom of the Opera vibes, kind of. I'm not sure what I can compare it to. Like a lot of people compared it to like Phantom of the Opera and like The Greatest Showman, like mixed together. And I'm like, I mean, kind of, but not really. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, so magic, competition. I can't wait for the second book. I thought it was really good. Okay, and then the last thing was to follow the hosts. If you haven't done that, you should do that. But I did that, so we're good. And that is my blacked out board. I read one more book this week. It was Changeless by Gail Carriger, and it was the worst book that I read this week, and I hated it. And I was digging it for like the first half, and then at the end, it just like went straight down, and it was not good. The end ruined the whole book for me. So, yeah. I would not classify it as a romance. I was not happy about it. Very upset because I loved the first book so much. And grr. So yeah, here are my rankings for all the books I read. In 10th place, we have Changeless, which was a terrible book. 9th was A Hunger Like No Other, because at least it didn't end terribly. It was kind of just consistent the whole way through. And then Barista and the Bear, it was okay. Sanctuary, also okay. Queen Takes Queen, really good. Devil's Line, super good. Like, I now want to read the whole series. Slave to Sensation, I've read it twice and I still really like it. Where Dreams Descend, surprising that I liked it, but I really, really liked it. Mooncakes, the most adorable thing in the entire world. Read it, please. And then Wolf Gone Wild. Greatest book. Greatest book I've read this month. Yes. Okay. So, with that, I hope that y'all have a great day. All right. Bye.